Welcome to this installment in the XSitePro tutorial series. In the early days of web publishing, the creation of a sitemap served mainly as a navigational tool, a means of helping your audience find a particular web page. While it still serves in that capacity, its main purpose is now very different. Sitemaps provide an excellent roadmap for search engine robots to efficiently crawl and index your entire site in one fell swoop. Another departure from the earlier days is the ease with which the sitemaps are now created. Manual creation used to be the only way, which took hours or even days and needed to be manually updated every time you published a new page. XSitePro automatically updates your sitemap so that it's always right up to date. You don't have to lift a finger. In this tutorial, we'll be discussing two different types of sitemap files: standard sitemaps and search engine sitemaps. Let's talk about the first type. To access your website's sitemaps, head over to the Other tab and click Sitemaps. Notice on the dialog that appears that you are actually creating three different sitemap files. At least you are if all options are checked. You can create one that displays your pages in alphabetical order, one based on the order of your web pages tab, complete with nesting for subpages, and finally, you can add one based on the main navigation menu order, which is very similar to the second one, but excludes any pages you haven't enabled in your main navigation menu. Click Edit Settings to see the various options for each sitemap. The settings contain two tabs. The first allows you to tweak the page name, its file name, and where it's located on your site. You can also enter meta information like a page description and keywords to help out any search engine robots that happen across it. The Other Settings tab is exclusively for sites whose content has grown so large that you feel it would be best to split the sitemap into multiple pages. You can control the number of links per page, set the link text for previous and next pages, and even include special content or design elements at the top or bottom of each sitemap page, AdSense advertising for example. Of course, it really only makes sense to display one of these sitemaps to the actual user, and you can choose which one here under the default sitemap. Now, you might be wondering, with all these dynamic elements and self-updating pages, do I have any control over what the page looks like? Actually, you do. Check out the Style tab, and you can format any of the sitemaps to your liking. Just choose the particular sitemap here, and you have formatting control over each of the textual elements on your sitemap, such as the sitemap title, page title, etc. Note that you can represent each page with either the official description from the Info tab or with a bit of text from the page's main panel. Under Page URL, you can display either the whole URL or just the file name. And finally, you can control elements like indents, spacing, and link formatting. Combine all these elements and you can achieve just the look you want. Those old gray, robotic-looking sitemaps truly are a thing of the past. Let's move on to search engine sitemaps, which are also readily accessible from the Other tab. This dialog will let you create a sitemap that none of your viewers will ever see, but is a critical tool for those who wish to be listed high in Google's rankings. This is a sitemap specifically designed for Google's robots. Here on the General tab, you can check to create this sitemap, give it a name, even link to it from your robots.txt file if you created one. See the robots tutorial for more info on this. The next tab gives you the opportunity to tell Google which of your pages you regard as the most important. There is no guarantee that Google will concur and reward those important pages with higher rankings, but it never hurts to try. You can also exclude things like purchase thank you pages if desired. Next, on the Update Frequency tab, You should provide an honest assessment of how often you expect to update each page. It's possible that Google will check back on those frequently updated pages a bit more often. And finally, on the Instructions tab, it takes you through the steps of getting a sitemap up and submitted, which are 1. To sign up for a Google account if you haven't already done so. 2. To publish your site along with your new sitemap. And 3. To copy the sitemap's URL and then log in to alert Google of its existence. You do that via Google's Webmaster Tools interface. As your pages and your priorities change, you can always upload newer versions and then resubmit to Google. Sitemaps can not only provide an easy, automatically updated means of navigation for your users, they're also an excellent indexing tool for the search engines, especially Google.